I'm going to go straight to Walt Mossberg, the big W himself, in Washington, D.C., to tell us about the Samsung Galaxy Note, which I'll just weigh in very quickly what looks like a caricature of a cell phone, but do carry on.
Well, maybe the best thing to do is this.
That's big.
That's big. Kind of covers your whole side of your face, and if you have a beard, some of your beard.
I thought I was camp, Walt, but that's pretty camp. Maybe I should get one.
Maybe you should, Simon. So here's the deal. Samsung, as you know, makes lots of Android phones. They make tablets. This is a hybrid of a phone and a tablet, although they're calling it a phone, and it runs the phone version of Android, not the tablet version, or the version that is designed for both. And it has a 5.3-inch screen. You can fit almost the entire iPhone in just the screen part of this thing. So it's big. Yes. But if you think of it, so I don't think it's very practical as a phone, you know, held up to your ear. I don't think a lot of people are going to do that. Obviously, if you're a Bluetooth headset user, or maybe you only use the speakerphone, it's not a problem. But for a lot of people, I'm not saying this is a practical phone. But if you think about it as a small tablet, it's obviously more portable than something like an iPad or even a 7-inch Kindle Fire. You know, some of my colleagues on All Things D have been calling it a phablet. And that's kind of what it is. If you think about it as a small tablet, that might be a good trade-off for some people. But there's another really interesting thing about this that I think makes it worth the consideration of some consumer. Would you like to know what that is?
Yes, we would love to know what that is, Walt.
It's this.
Remember the stylus, Simon?
Stylus.
No, no.
I don't know if the lovely Lauren Good ever had a Palm Pilot.
No, that was before my time, actually.
I didn't have a Palm Pilot because I didn't want a stylus.
I knew people that had them.
No, the stylus, no.
Well, and you know what, Simon? Steve Jobs also hated styluses, and he made fun of them. Put a big picture of a stylus up when he introduced the iPhone, and he said, anything that has to use this is, you know, junk or whatever. That's paraphrasing, but it was, you know, a typical ascetic Steve Jobs comment. This is a stylus, though, that works very closely with an app, and there are going to be a number of them for this phone. The app that's built in here is called S-Memo. It lets you jot down notes. It lets you, you know, draw little maps or pictures or drawings of whatever you want, diagrams. You can incorporate photos into those drawings. You can incorporate typed text if you want. And then you can share them. You can email them or text them. You can upload them to Facebook, whatever. And there are going to be games and things that use the tablet, the stylus. And the stylus has a little button on the side so that if you tap, you get a screen capture. You can annotate. If you tap a different way, this memo app comes up. And so for a certain group of people who like the idea of the stylus and of the things you can do with the stylus, I think this could be something they would consider for $300 bucks.
Would you like styluses?
Well, my favorite part, not necessarily the stylus, my favorite part of Walt's review, which made me laugh out loud last night as I was reading it, because I was waiting all night just for the review to come out. This is what it's exciting.
This is how you spend your nights. This is great.
And I laughed out loud when he said that it reminded him of having a piece of toast up to his ear. So
yeah, it was like talking into a piece of toast.
So I brought that for Simon.
Kind of what it is.
I don't know if you can see that, Walt, but I actually have a piece of toast here for Simon. I'm going to make him put it up to his ear.
But you know what?
So that he can hold it up like a phone, so you can get the real experience of what. There you go. So.
Does the phone going to smell like this? Is it going to smell like whole grain bread?
I don't think it works with a stylus. Last time I
checked. You know, and if you had a cinnamon stick with that piece of toast, that could be the stylus.
He's eating it now. He's eating the phablet.
Have the whole thing.
But well, ultimately, you do say that you feel that for a lot of people, this device is not going to be the only device that you carry around.
Right, and that's a big point, Lauren. I'm really glad you raised it. If you're making a kind of hybrid device, one reason you might be making it is lots of people carry a phone and a tablet. You know, an iPhone and an iPad, or an Android phone and an Android tablet, or mixed up, you know. And this gives you the hope or the promise maybe that you don't have to carry two gadgets. But I think given the huge size of this, when you hold it up to use it as a phone, that, again, unless you are a Bluetooth earpiece addict, you're probably going to still want to carry two gadgets, even if you love the stylus, even if you love the drawing, and treat this as more of a small tablet than a phone.
So what about it as a loud, large fashion accessory for the you know, for the camp among us who like to say,
well,
oh my God, yes, this is great.
You mean
Look, I got my phone.
huge audience of fashionistas?
Well, we are in New York City here.
It could be that they might like it. You know, it does come. I think they have a white one, and that might be attractive to people. And yeah, they might like it.
But
let me just say
really
one more
good
thing
point.
about this drawing and
Yeah.
stylus thing. And despite the Steve Jobs feelings about it, even on the iPad, which Apple doesn't make a stylus for, there's a pretty robust market in third-party styluses for people that are more graphical or handwriting oriented. And there are quite a bunch of apps, I haven't counted them, probably more than there are so far for this, for drawing and doing handwriting things. And so I see people using styluses on their iPads and even their iPhones. Now, these are different styluses. They have a blunter tip. This is designed to take a much sharper tip. But styluses, there is a kind of a subculture of people that like styluses.